This is a yearly video that I've done since I've owned my Cobra. It's kind of like a insight on what it would cost to build a car to the caliber of where mine is currently at if you were going from the starting point for where mine was at the very beginning. I also do these as a record for myself to see what I've done for the Cobra from year to year and what it's cost and how quickly things can add up over time because you add parts here, parts there, and after a while when you add it all up, it gets to be pretty expensive. So I'll do the same format that I've done with the other two videos. I will go through and all the parts that I bought for 2022, and then at the end of the video, I will total up the total cost of what I've spent altogether, including the previous 2 years. One of the big upgrades for 2022 was the RTX clutch that went in, but I technically bought the clutch in 2021, so that was on last year's video, but the supporting mods, I want to say, for the clutch, the adjustable ball stud here and some of the other parts that are coming up next, were all bought actually in 2022. So I'll go through each one of these now. First up is the McLeod clutch fork adjustable ball stud. That was $41. To go along with that was the clutch fork itself for $62. As I was doing everything involved with the clutch, this also included having to do a thorough bearing. This cost $69.99 for a Ford Performance bearing. And the last thing needed for all of this was the Ford Performance pilot bearing, and that cost $16.99. The next item that I needed to address with the car was it needed rear tires really bad, as my R888Rs were pretty much ruined. So I got a set of Mickey Thompson ET Street SS. These are in 315 by 3518, and they cost $442 per tire. Now we get into a few suspension components. I decided to add a Steeda bump steer kit. It needed it because it's lowered, and that total cost was $189.95. To go along with the bump steer kit, I bought a set of Steeda X2 ball joints. Those cost $159.95. There's a few miscellaneous items that really don't fit into a category, so I'm just going to get those out of the way now. The first one is a J&L oil separator. I figured the car has needed one for quite a while, so I went ahead and just finally got one for it. And the cost of that was $159. The other miscellaneous item is a fuel filter. Not really a big mod or big part, but being that the IRS is being dropped out for this winter to get a lot of work being done, those of you that have seen some of the more recent videos, it's one of those parts where you're there, you might as well have it done. So I picked up a new fuel filter to have put in, and the cost of that was $26.99. I've still been really struggling with trying to get the ride height just how I want it. I don't want it too low, and I don't want it too high. It's finding that really sweet spot that I want with it. It currently has H&R Sport springs. Those are coming out, and the race springs are going in place of those, and those are supposed to be a little bit better as far as ride height, so it's not slammed quite so much as it is now. It's better than it was when it had coilovers, but I still want it a little bit better for the road conditions that I generally drive in around here, and the cost of these springs were $309. The last big item for 2022 was a BMR Premium K member. Comes with the A-arms with the spring purchase. As you can see on the screenshot, these were out of stock when I took the screenshot. I pretty much had to put an alert on these and wait for them to come into stock and buy them as soon as I got the alert. These will come into stock and then they disappear, and who knows when they come back. So I couldn't wait too long. As soon as they came into stock with the alert, I had to pick them up and get them when I did. The total cost of these were $899. So that brings us to the total for 2022. Honestly, it was a pretty light year compared to the previous 2 years. There was a lot of big ticket items costing in multiple thousands of dollars, like the VMP supercharger and stuff like that. So overall, this year was pretty light, and the overall total came to $2,819.45. Now comes the fun part of adding together everything for what I've spent the previous 2 years. As I've said in the other videos, which I will link in the description and in cards up above, these totals do not include labor for anything that I had done at the shop, and they do not include shipping. It's just the price of the part and what it costs for me to buy it. If we bring in my 2020 total, I spent $10,635.74. In 2021, I spent $10,059.21. So if you take those two totals and add it with this year's total, you come out with $23,514.40. That's what I've spent on mods and improvements on my Cobra since owning it in August of 2020. As far as 2023 goes, things have already started to happen as far as parts being bought and the groundwork being laid for what's going to be done to the car. Some of the stuff may not be done and paid for until winter of 2024, so I'm not sure how the total for 2023 is how it's gonna pan out, but it has a potential to blow away the other 2 years previously as far as the total cost. I'm not sure exactly what's going to be done at this point, but the things that I want to get done, things that I will address in later videos as far as plans with the car, it's going to be a really expensive year if I get everything done that I want to have done. So if this is your first video and you want to see everything that's going on with this car, make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with all the things happening with it. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave it a like. But above all else, thanks for watching.